welcome to KYC, Know Your Counterparty, hosted by PM Insights. Today we're joined by Glenn Anderson, the founder of Rainmaker Securities. Hey Glenn, how's it going? Welcome to the show.
I'm good.
And
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Would love to just give you the floor for a minute to just introduce yourself, who you represent.
Yeah, absolutely. I am the CEO and founder of Rainmaker Securities. Rainmaker Securities is an investment banking company and FINRA registered broker-dealer. We have offices in Los Angeles, Silicon Valley, Chicago, and Miami, Florida, where I'm located. And we focus exclusively on private securities markets. We have a few lines of business. We raise capital for corporate issuers and funding rounds. We raise money for fund products. We do private debt work. We do mergers and acquisitions advisory work. But our largest practice area is our trading practice, where we trade in late-stage private stocks. Think venture-backed unicorn names like a SpaceX or a Stripe or an OpenAI. We make markets in those stocks, and that's our largest line of business. We've been around about 14 years, have 75 on staff, spread across the globe, focused on nearly every continent. Every continent except Antarctica, we have people.
All right.
So we're a global institution serving, all aspects of the private market. Like I said, we've been around about 14 years, so we have some gray hair in the business.
Yeah, you've seen some stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'd love that backstory. You are the first person that I've met in these markets that have been around that long. So understanding the origin of what did you see before anybody else, and maybe it was too soon. You were too thoughtful about this, but clearly you've scaled up to be quite a large firm, 75 staff and personnel. So how did you make the leap? And when it was just you or two of you 14 years ago?
Yeah. It's interesting. I can't say that I was a enlightened forward thinker, so to speak. It kind of happened by accident. When I started the business, I was focused on raising capital for startups. And that's a business, and it's a line of business we're still in, and we have very talented deal makers at doing that work. But how we got into the late stage private trading business, which is again our primary line of business, was, not completely accidental, but sort of accidental, which is I had a counterparty a close relationship that mentioned that they had buyers of Facebook stock in 2010.
Yeah, and anybody listening, hopefully should just be in a gasp. Oh, I wish I'd bought that in 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's somewhat accidental. Someone came to me looking for Facebook stock. I happened to know some employees at Facebook. So I made the connect, got the trade done, and realized, this is a very good business. It's a lot less of a headache than a lot of our other lines of business. Timelines are much shorter in the trading business. The brain damage involved in all elements of the process of getting a trade done is much less. And I basically just realized, this is a line of business that we should be in. When we started doing this in 2010, we were one of the only brokers addressing this market, and there were really maybe 3 stocks traded. There was Facebook, Twitter had some trading activity, and Palantir. Since that time, we've grown along with the business, and now we've traded in easily 1,000 different stocks. As brokers addressing this market, we collaborate with a lot of the other leading players out there. Rainmaker Securities is by our numbers, and we know a lot of what our competition is up to. We remain, one of the top 5 players in this business. So, there's a lot because we run such a deep market, at any one time we'll have $2 to $3 billion worth of share inventory on our books and $2 to $3 billion worth of buy interest, which means we run a very deep market. And so, a lot of times we'll have the best bid on the market for a particular stock, or we'll have the best offer on the market for a particular stock. And that, you know, that's what
Good place to
our
be.
clients like about us. We've been around. What clients like about us is we've been in the business a long time. We know what we're doing. We're not, 24-year-old kids out of college learning the business. We're a platform for rainmakers, hence the name Rainmaker. The people at Rainmaker, the deal makers at Rainmaker, have been in this business a long time. Maybe not the full 14 years I've been doing it, but I have a lot of guys on the platform with 10, 12 years of experience in it. So we know what we're doing. We know how to navigate the market. We know how to get deals done. Like I said, a lot of times we'll have the best terms in the market just because we run such a deep book. And I think, that's how we attract, the volume of clients we do, is because we're known for that.
Right. And what do you think makes for a good broker? So and I'm not talking about the holistic firm, I'm talking when a resume lands on your desk. What is it that you want to find in that person that would make them a really nice fit for your business line? You know what? This is someone I want to work with. What do you look for in that hire?
Well, I mean, number one is that deal maker has to have the relevant experience to know what they're doing. Maybe if they haven't been in private secondary markets, but they've been an equity sales guy for 10 years, so they know how to develop relationships. And the thing is, to be successful in our business, you have to be entrepreneurial. Working at Rainmaker is not like working at a bulge bracket where you get your relationships handed to you and there's a lot of mentorship along the way. That's just not how our business works. With our business, you have to be able to go out there and hustle and get your own relationships and learn the business. And what I look for in new deal makers is guys primarily who have at least tangential experience doing the type of work that's involved in selling the types of deals we sell, and is entrepreneurial. That's what our objective has been in our recruiting practice.
Great. And if anyone new is coming to the table as a potential client or just an interested in buyer right now, we always want to ask what's hot right now. Naturally, AI is a clear answer that everyone shoots right down the fairway, but curious, what's hot for you guys right now across the platform?
Yeah, look, it's a very narrow marketplace right now. Where there's activity, there is a lot of activity, but it's pretty narrow in terms of the universe of stocks that are getting active interest right now. And I think you hit it, which is anything attached to AI is getting a bid. I mean, you could probably predict that answer without even knowing much about what we do, that anything AI would be a popular conversation. But there are other stocks that are, also exciting stories that, are getting a lot of activity too. Like recently, SpaceX. I mean, we always have buyers for SpaceX. Consistently, I've traded SpaceX stock for 10 years, and we never run out of buy interest in SpaceX. I don't know if it's the Elon Musk factor or just that it's a very cool, exciting company, but there's always a market there. Anduril is another one we've seen a lot of activity in. So defense tech, and maybe that you could argue that some of that interest is a function of the election outcome, and that a Trump presidency is going to be more friendly to that the defense tech industry. But frankly, Anduril's been on investors' wish list for well before the election. It's just doing amazing things. Stripe is another one that always seems to have a market. I mean, any of the big caps. I mean, if you're looking at the big caps, the mega cap private stocks, you're looking at SpaceX, ByteDance, OpenAI, Stripe, these sorts of names. Maybe simply because they're such highly valued companies, and they have so many shares out there, disproportionately, you're just going to see more
Right.
supply and demand in those names. I mean,
And
it's just,
part of it might be they've changed hands so many times. Now it's much easier for them to be transacted upon as well.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's not easy to transact in many of these stocks. And that's frankly why I have a job, is because we know how to get trades done in the trades that are hard to get done. So, but that aside, yes, where we're seeing the market is, as you said it, down the fairway, AI, anything AI, and the mega cap names continue to have a pretty healthy market. That said, I think what we're going to see going into 2025 is, this IPO market has been subdued for 3 years. What that's created, though, is a huge appetite for liquidity from early employees and early investors. And at some point, appetite for liquidity has got to get satisfied. So there are a lot of companies that are getting pressure to do an IPO. And look, from a market conditions and macroeconomics and, policy expectations perspective, I really don't think you get much better of an opportunity than to consider doing an IPO today. So I think 2025, my expectation would be it's going to be a healthy, vibrant IPO market in 2025. And what that does is it energizes what we do with the late stage private secondary trading. Because one of the biggest difficulties or constraints for investors getting involved in private securities is the liquidity problem. Once you're in a stock, how do you get out? Because there's no public marketplace to trade private shares. Again, these trades are often difficult to get done and require, a ROFR process and a board approval process and all these processes that, stand in the way of you getting a trade done. But if you can see a path to liquidity via an IPO, investors are much more likely to jump in and buy the stock and try to get it ahead of an IPO at a better valuation point ahead of an IPO. And so, if the IPO market cooperates this year, in 2025, I think it's going to be a great year for everybody in our business.
Absolutely. And I think that also creates a nice flywheel, right? Because if we're able to get liquidity in 2025 and we've had success in these late stage names, guess what? I'm going to take my liquidity off the table and then reinvest back in the next company, that's prime for IPO in 2026 or 2027. So that's like a nice place to be in those regards. And I think not just IPO, tenders are going to pick up, M&A is going to pick up. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that call by any.
Yeah, look, I've been wrong once or twice in my life. I feel like I said, the stars are aligned right now in a way that, rarely are the conditions so good for an IPO market to reemerge. So, fingers crossed that happens.
Great stuff.
No,
I think just any sort of liquidity, even as these names do stay private longer, it's on the horizon. So that's a great thing for all of us involved in this ecosystem. Naturally, we're just trying to build the transparency and understanding of the data and analytics around it, get people more comfortable with the introductions to folks like you, of which there are many, right, within the networks. But it'd be great to just hear what's the best way, Glenn, to get a hold of you, to get a hold of a rep at Rainmaker? Is there a website, a phone number, an email, a carrier pigeon? What's the best way to go about it?
we launched last year. We launched our RainmakerX trading platform, and the purpose of that platform was to create more and better and more frequent engagement with our customers. I feel proud of what we put together, and we're constantly improving it. But if someone wants to engage with us, that's a great place to start, is signing up for a RainmakerX account. The way we work at Rainmaker, though, is everybody who engages with us, every client that engages with us, engages with a deal maker at the same time. This isn't our ambition. It's not to be a fully electronic operation because that's impossible in our marketplace. That's not how the private markets work. Every company is different. There's different paperwork, there's different people, there's different processes for getting trades done. There's no such thing as pressing a button and buying SpaceX. It just doesn't work that way. So our model, and we think it's the right model for the market, is to be very high touch in terms of having a real person to work with along the way. So when you sign up for RainmakerX account, you choose the person you want to work with, and that person is notified of you signing up for the platform, what you're interested in, all this kind of stuff. And, right away from the very beginning, you'll have someone attending to your interest and working directly with you. So to answer the question, if you want to get started with us, definitely visit the Rainmaker Securities website, sign up for a RainmakerX account, and then we'll be in touch right away to help you through whatever you want to get done in the private marketplace.
Hammer you and the team with questions. White glove
Yeah,
service. That's what you're there for.
We're white glove service, here to answer questions and here to help. Our job is to make a complex market simple for you as the client.
Great. All right. Well, we truly appreciate the time today. Hopefully a few more folks got to hear about the platform, get the intro to you, and away we go. Every one of the brokers we work with is a contributor to PM Insights and really benefits the proliferation of transparency and understanding of the market to get more folks involved. So hopefully this is a good education and a nice KYC. Know your counterparty. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.